Good morning, class 9. Today we are going to start a new chapter, The Snake and the Mirror. Do you like to look at yourself in the mirror? I think everybody likes to look at himself or herself in the mirror. What do you think about at such times? Have you ever seen a dog, a cat, or a bird look into the mirror? What do you think it sees? Now, I think this is going to be a very strange experience if we see a dog, a cat, a bird, or any other animal sitting in front of the mirror and looking at itself. We will find that sight very strange. Now, read this humorous story about a doctor, a snake, and a mirror. Has a snake ever coiled itself around any part of your body? A full blooded cobra. Just imagine a cobra gliding itself around your neck or your shoulder or your arm. What will be your experience? All of us fell silent. The question came from the homeopath. The topic came up when we were discussing snakes. We listened attentively as the doctor continued with his tale. The doctor was telling some incident. It was a hot summer night, about 10 o'clock. I had my meal at the restaurant and returned to my room. Now the doctor is narrating a story. I heard a noise from above as I opened the door. The sound was a familiar one. One could say that the rats and I shared the room. That means there were plenty of rats in the room of the doctor, and it seemed as if both the rats and the doctor shared the same room, lived in the same room. I took out my box of matches and lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. The house was not electrified. It was a small rented room. That means there was no electricity there. It was a small rented room. I had just set up medical practice and my earnings were meager. He had just started his practice as a doctor and he did not earn lot of money. He had small earnings. My earnings were meager. That means little, small in quantity. I had about 60 rupees in my suitcase. Along with some shirts and dhotis, I also possessed one solitary black coat which I was then wearing. Solitary means alone. He had one single black coat which he was wearing at that time. I took off my black coat, white shirt, and not so white vest and hung them up. What is a vest? The undershirt which you wear under your shirt. That is called vest. I opened the two windows in the room. It was an outer room with one wall facing the open yard. It had a tile roof with long supporting gables that rested on the beam over the wall. See, the meaning of gable is given here. Upper part of a wall below a sloping roof. And there is a picture also showing the gable. There was no ceiling. There was a regular traffic of rats to and fro from the beam. I made my bed and pulled it close to the wall. I lay down, but I could not sleep. I got up and went out to the veranda for a little air. But the wind gods seemed to have taken time off. That means there was no wind. Absolutely, there was no breeze outside, as if the wind god had taken a leave. I went back into the room and sat down on the chair. I opened the box beneath the table and took out a book, the Materia Medica. I opened it at the table on which stood the lamp and a large mirror. A small comb lay beside the mirror. One feels tempted to look into the mirror when it is near one. I took a look. In those days, I was a great admirer of beauty and I believed in making myself look handsome. You all must have also observed that if you stand near a mirror, automatically your neck will turn towards the mirror and you will start looking at yourself for a few seconds or so. So, when the doctor looked at himself in the mirror, he decided that he will do something to make himself look handsome. I was unmarried and I was a doctor. I felt I had to make my presence felt. That means he realized that he is unmarried, he is a doctor also, and so he should look smart, he should look handsome so that others can get attracted towards him. I felt I had to make my presence felt. I picked up the comb and ran it through my hair and adjusted the parting so that it looked straight and neat. Again, I heard that sound from above. He heard some sound. I took a close look at my face in the mirror. I made an important decision. I would shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. When he looked at himself in the mirror, he decided that he will shave his face daily and he will grow a thin mustache so that he looks good, he looks handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor, so he thought that if he will look handsome, he will get married soon. Since he was unmarried, so he must look attractive. I looked into the mirror and smiled. It was an attractive smile. I made another earth shaking decision. I would always keep that attractive smile on my face. This is the second thing which he decided to do, to look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor too, on top of it. Again came that noise from above. I got up, paced up and down the room. That means he moved up and down the room. Then another lovely thought struck me. I would marry. I would get married to a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. She had to be fat for a valid reason. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. So, look how wild thoughts are coming in his mind. He says that if he marries a fat woman, then she will not be able to chase the doctor. If he makes some mistakes and he runs away, the lady, his wife, is not going to run after, will not be able to run after him so fast because she would be fat. With such thoughts in my mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. There were no more sounds from above. Suddenly, there came a dull thud. Thud is a sound. Thud actually is a loud sound. A dull thud, as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Surely, nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. Now, can you imagine, children, how the doctor must have felt when a fat snake wriggled over the back of his chair and landed on his shoulder? Just imagine that you turn back and a snake jumps over your shoulder. How would you feel? Then the snake's landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. That means as soon as he turned, the snake jumped over his shoulder. I didn't jump. I didn't tremble. I didn't cry out. There was no time to do any such thing. The snake slithered along my shoulder. Slithered means it moved slowly along the shoulder of the doctor and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. So you can just imagine the condition of that doctor. He just sat still. He did not move, he did not tremble because the snake was so close to his face and it was coiled around his left arm above his elbow. It would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. I was turned to stone. That means he was as still as a stone can be. He did not move at all. But my mind was very active. Although he himself was not moving, but his mind was alert. The door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. A stone image in the flesh, as if he was a human being, but it appeared as if he was a stone. Inside him, there was the flesh of a human being, but from outside, he was as still as a stone. I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." Now you also must have experienced this, that every day in our busy lives, we might not remember God all the time. But whenever we are in any difficulty, whenever we are in a trouble, the first thing that we think is about God. We start praying to God and we start asking God to help Him and let all difficulties go away from our lives. There was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. So he was feeling very hot within because the fat snake, a thick fat snake, had coiled round his left arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. He felt as if all his strength from his arm is being drained out. What could I do? At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lurked 4 inches away. That means death was only 4 inches away from him. Suppose it struck. What was the medicine I had to take? He was thinking in his mind. Remember, he just said that his mind was active. So, what was he thinking? That suppose the snake strikes him, the snake bites him, then which medicine should he take immediately? There were no medicines in the room. I had to take. There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor because he was so helpless at that time. That is why he is calling himself a foolish, a poor, and a stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. It seemed as if God appreciated that. The snake turned its head. What did God appreciate? God appreciated how bravely he was facing death, how bravely he was facing that danger. The snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into the mirror, but it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? Was it trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache or using eyeshadow or mascara or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? I did not know anything for certain. What sex was this snake? Was it male or female? I will never know, for the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. From there, it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at close quarters. That means he wanted to look at its reflection from very close distance. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Till now, the doctor was saying that it appeared as if he was made of stone. He did not move, he was sitting still. But as soon as the snake moved away and went in front of the mirror, it appeared to the doctor that now he was back to a man of flesh. Now he was no more sitting as if he was made of granite. Granite is a stone. Now he felt that he was back to a human being once again. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. He ran away for whatever he could do to save himself. He did at this time. Phew! Each of us heaved a sigh of relief. He took a sigh of relief, a long, deep breath. Somebody asked, "Doctor, is your wife very fat?" "No," the doctor said. "God willed otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter." Reedy person means a person who has thin voice. Someone else asked, "Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you?" The doctor replied, "I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. Immediately, I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. The next morning, at about 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. But we found we had little to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. The room had been cleaned out, but not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult." "What was that?" I asked. The doctor said, "My vest, the dirty one." The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. The rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. "Did you see the snake the next day, doctor?" The doctor laughed. "I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty." That means it was the snake which was attracted with its own beauty, and the doctor never saw that snake again in his life. So this is about the snake and the mirror. Finally, I can say that it was the mirror that saved the life of the doctor, because when the snake saw its reflection in the mirror, it sat in front of the mirror, it looked at its reflection as if it was admiring its beauty, and thus the doctor's life was saved. I am sure you must have enjoyed the chapter. Read the chapter once again and enjoy reading it once more. Thank you, children.